Are you someone who has always felt like there's something off about your mother's behavior? Do you find it hard to pinpoint what exactly that is? Well, in today's video, we'll be looking at 8 key signs that may help you identify whether or not your mother is a sociopath. As a disclaimer, it's important to note that this video is not meant to help you diagnose your mother. It is simply for educational purposes. But if you identify these traits in your mother, speak to a professional or someone you trust. 1. She lacks empathy. A sociopath is someone who doesn't care about rights and wrongs and the feelings of others. Imagine pouring your heart out to your mother and sharing your deepest fears, insecurities, or secrets, only to be met with a cold and indifferent response. It might seem like she has built an emotional fortress around herself, leaving you stranded and alone. This abandonment might leave you desperately seeking a connection that may never materialize. This absence of empathy can be profoundly distressing and lead to feeling neglected, frustrated, or confused. This is because, as a sociopathic mother, she is driven by her own self-interests. She may also be completely incapable of experiencing or understanding the emotions of those around her, including her own children or friends, if she has any. Still, she dismisses your feelings as irrelevant, disregarding your needs and exploiting your vulnerabilities for her own benefit. Not to mention that her lack of empathy may extend beyond just her interaction with you, as she may also display a lack of concern for the feelings and well-being of others in her social circle or community. This means she might be unapologetically manipulative, exploitative, or even downright cruel without regard for the pain she inflicts on others. 2. She is manipulative. A sociopathic mother is an expert at playing mind games. She knows where and how much to push your buttons, exploit your vulnerabilities, and make you doubt your own thoughts and emotions. Since she is very familiar with you, she may use your weaknesses, fears, and insecurities as ammunition to manipulate your actions and decisions so that they fulfill her personal needs. She does not hesitate to fulfill her goals by guilt-tripping you with things that are not your fault. She skillfully manipulates your emotions, whether it is reminding you of past mistakes or exaggerating your shortcomings. This makes you believe that you are responsible for her problems, burdening you with guilt and further cementing her control over your actions. Furthermore, she is a natural charmer and can use this to deceive others with ease. She exploits her charisma and skillfully uses it to manipulate those in her social circle, often presenting herself as the victim in various situations. She puts up a facade of innocence and elicits sympathy to gain the trust and support of others. 3. She is controlling. Have you ever felt like you're constantly walking on eggshells around your mother? Do you find yourself always seeking her approval and fearing disappointing her? Well, one of the most apparent signs that you have a sociopathic mother is her controlling nature and her insatiable need for power and dominance. In fact, she loves having her way and thrives on having complete control over every aspect of your life, including your thoughts, emotions, and even your daily activities. A sociopathic mother may display an unhealthy level of curiosity about your personal affairs and constantly pry into and try to dictate your relationships, friendships, and online presence. She might go to great lengths, like monitoring your devices, listening in on private interactions, and forcefully interrogating you. This is where tactics such as emotional manipulation, guilt-tripping, or threats come to play in an attempt to convince you to bend to her will. The ultimate goal here would be to ensure that you and every other person around her remain subservient and dependent on her because it makes her feel powerful and superior. In fact, she will go to great lengths to isolate you from others who may challenge her control or provide alternative support sources. Additionally, she may deliberately sow seeds of doubt and mistrust about your friends, significant others, or even other family members and try to poison your relationships to keep you isolated and totally dependent on her. 4. She enjoys lying for personal gain. Quite similar to being manipulative, a sociopathic mother habitually fabricates stories, distorts facts, and manipulates the truth to benefit herself at the expense of others. She might also have a knack for spinning elaborate webs of deception to effortlessly paint herself in a favorable light or escape accountability for her actions. Her lies can range from minor fibs to grandiose tales, all crafted to manipulate others and maintain control over her surroundings. Driven by an insatiable desire for personal gain, she employs every possible means to secure financial advantages, enhance her social status, or even assert emotional dominance over others. She might even lie about her own achievements or exaggerate her talents to boost her self-esteem and gain admiration from other people. A mother who's a sociopath might also spread malicious gossip or manipulate you, her friends, or other family members just to maintain control. In extreme cases, she may even fabricate accusations or gaslight, causing psychological harm to those closest to her. 5. She is paranoid. At first glance, paranoia may seem unrelated to sociopathy. However, paranoia refers to excessive distrust and suspicion of others, often driven by irrational fears or beliefs. Regarding sociopathic mothers, paranoia is a red flag that must not be ignored, as it can spell trouble. This is because a sociopathic mother relentlessly believes that she is under threat. She may develop elaborate conspiracy theories and convince herself that everyone around her, including her own children, is plotting against her. This deep-rooted paranoia creates a toxic environment where trust is non-existent or pushed aside, and healthy relationships become nearly impossible. She may also become hypersensitive to criticism, perceived slights, and any comment or action that challenges or questions her cause for alarm. In addition to that, she may isolate herself from everybody, which is quite unusual due to her distress and suspicion of other people. More so, she often fears that her interactions with others may lead them to betray her or expose her vulnerabilities. She feels like she always needs to be on her watch and will often try to verify whatever she hears or sees because she fears deceit. Is she always accusing you of conniving behind her back to hurt her or act against her? Your mother just might be paranoid. 6. She is aggressive and violent. What happens when you dare to disagree with her or challenge her authority, no matter how trivial? Does she flare up and become more aggressive? Even the slightest disagreement or perceived threat to her authority often triggers a sociopath's aggression. She may resort to physical violence, emotional abuse, or even manipulative tactics to assert her dominance and control over you. Alarmingly, the intensity of her reaction can be utterly bewildering. What starts as a seemingly harmless difference of opinion can quickly escalate into a full-blown confrontation that may involve some shouting or violence, as she'll do everything to prove that she's right and everyone else is wrong. 7. She enjoys gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which an individual distorts reality to make others question their own sanity or perception of events. It involves deliberate tactics to undermine someone's confidence, self-esteem, and sense of reality. One sign that you may have a sociopathic mother who engages in gaslighting is if she twists or denies facts, causing you to doubt your own memory or perception of events. She may insist that things happen differently or that you remember things inaccurately, making it difficult for you to trust your judgment or even yourself. There might be times when you confront her about her negative behavior and she immediately spins things around on you. Rather than address the issue, she gaslights you and avoids your concerns altogether. 8. She is narcissistic. Narcissism and sociopathy are not too far off from each other. While people might mistake them for each other, narcissism and sociopathy have a distinct difference but often go hand in hand. Narcissism is when someone is so self-obsessed and only thinks the world revolves around them. Do you sometimes feel used and neglected because your mother loves herself too much to pay attention to you? Well, this is not far off from sociopathy. Sociopathic mothers are all about themselves and themselves only. They don't care about how anyone else feels as long as they are happy and satisfied. They are self-centered, self-absorbed, and will only do things if it benefits them. If they are not in the picture, they are not interested. But if they are the only ones in the picture, they love it. What about signs you're not a bad person? It's just your anxiety. Watch this video to see our list.